Let us see. Fine. So see, yesterday we solved problem by using a graphical method, right? And the two maximization function. Objective function is maximization. Okay. Is my board is clearly visible to you, everyone? Is it clearly visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So see, we solve problems under maximization, and even we know very well about that. If it is a given objective function is maximization, right, and constant is less than equals to, then shaded area in the graph should be
Towards the origin.
towards the origin. Amala. Okay, right? So towards the origin. Fine. Now suppose see, any one of you can please tell me, I got constraint, though it is a maximization. Okay, I say to you very clearly, constraint should be less than equals to. Fine. Now suppose sometimes they are going to be give you greater than equals to constraint also. Okay, so constraint may be like this: 2x1 plus 4x2 less than equals to 4, x1 plus x2 greater than equals to 5. Okay, now you will identify point one, point A, point B, point C, point D. 4 points you will get. So once if you get 4 points, right, now shaded area for this particular less than equals to constraint, any one of you can please tell me, is it towards the origin or above to the origin?
Towards the origin.
Towards the origin. Okay, now any one of you can please tell me, objective function is a maximization, but whereas constraint they gave greater than equals to. So they asked you solve the problem by using graphical method. So if that is the case, then will you draw towards the origin or above to the origin? Sorry, say confidently.
Away from the origin, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Clear? So which is why even day before yesterday I said very clearly, right? So blind assumption in the linear programming problem, right, and basic funda, if it is a maximization constraint, always you are going to be get less than equals to, right? You are not going to be get any confusion. Suppose in the graphical method, if they give objective function is maximization and constraint is greater than equals to, right? So if it is less than equals to, towards the origin you need to draw, and if it is greater than equals to, above to the origin. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now my question, see, they gave problem like this, right? Solve the following problem by using graphical method, and the objective function they gave minimum. Okay, all constraints is less than equals to.
Towards the origin.
Exactly. If it is all greater than equals to,
Away from origin.
Away from the origin.
that's it. Okay, so remember this basic funda in your brain, right? Now we'll go ahead with the one more problem in the graphical method. As of now we solve problems, right, which is maximization. Now I'm taking help of minimization. Objective function is a minimization function. Okay, same procedure, but the graph, which is rather than drawing towards the origin, we are going to be draw
Away from.
away from
Origin.
origin. So let me take this problem, simple problem. Okay, so minimum z equals to, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
minimum z equals to 3x1 plus 2x2 subject to constraints 5x1 plus x2 greater than equals to 10, x1 plus x2 greater than equals to 6, x1 plus 4x2 greater than equals to 12, non-negativity restriction x1 comma x2 greater than equals to 0. Okay, so now we don't have any problem when you get problem like this, right? Solve the following problem by using graphical method. So you need to check first, is it objective function minimum or maximum, and next immediately the given constraint is greater than equals to or less than equals to. These two are the basic fundamental information you need to register in your brain. Okay, so why is it most important one? Any one of you?
On that basis, we get the optimum solution, sir.
That's it, exactly. So if it is a maximization, so based on the maximum point, we are going to be say that on this point company is going to be get maximum profit. If it is a minimization, right, based on the minimum value, we'll say that on this particular point company is going to be get very less cost. Okay, so basic funda, you know very well about that. Any one of you can please tell me the procedure now?
First, we need to find the coordinates of x1 and x2.
Right, so x1 x2 points, right? So see, 5x1 plus x2 equals to 10. If you assume x2 0, 5x1 equals to 10, x1 equals to 10 by 5, then x1 equals to 2. Okay, so point A is 2 0. Okay, so shall I solve each and everything here, or directly shall I write the points?
Write directly, sir.
Write the points
Yes.
directly.
Now see, we are going to be get point B. Any one of you? 0 10.
0, 10.
Point C 6 comma 0. Point D 0 comma 6. Okay, point E 12 comma 0, right? Point F
3, 0. Sorry,
3
0,
comma
3.
0 comma 3. Okay, clear? Do you have any doubts as of now? No, right?
No, sir.
So because constraints is 3, first constraint 2 points, second constraint is 2 points, and third constraint is 3 points. Now we got, okay, so on x-axis maximum we got 12, on x2 axis we got 10. Okay, so we'll take 1 2, right, one interval 1 2 3 4 5 like that. So I'm drawing here graph. So this is x1 and this is x2. Okay, on x1 we have 12, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. Okay, so on x2 we have 10, so I'm taking 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so A 2 0, right? So this is A, and B point which is 10. Hope you know very well about that. I'm going very fast, right? So line will be like this. This is first one. Okay, now is it towards the origin or away from the origin?
Away from the
Away from
origin.
the
So this area, right? So I'm not drawing because still we have. Okay, so we'll check. Now 6. Okay, here this is C. Now D 6. Okay, so point will be line, second line is 2. Is it towards the origin or about to the origin?
Above from the origin.
Yes. Now E is 12. Okay, this is E point, right? And F is 3 here, right? So line will be like this. This is third one. Okay. Now see, first one, this is right, first one. Okay, if I draw like this, so I'm drawing this area. Okay, now second one is also, so if it is, so this area, right? Now third one, even see the same one, which is again, if I draw like this entire, and it will go even. Okay, hope you understand. So first one, even if I draw everything, it will go to the up, right, away from the origin. Okay, then second row, second line is also above from the origin, and even third one is also same. Now any one of you can please tell me the area which I need to calculate or find out the points.
D.
Area, sorry,
D.
exactly. B from here to here, and from here to here, and from here to here, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Any doubts?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I'm unable to see the board, sir. Video is not getting.
Who is that?
Amala, sir.
What about
22.
others? What about others?
It's clear, sir, for me.
Amala, please check your network. Please check your network. Okay, clear? Right? So from B point, right, and even E point, now we need to find out these 2 points. Okay, so as of now we have A, B, C, D, E, F. So this is, I'm considering G, and this is H. Okay, so we need
Yes,
to
sir.
find out G point, right, and H point. Amala joining again. Okay, so G point and H point. Now we know the procedure. What we need to do?
First, we need to find G.
So first we need to find out G. To get the x1 and x2 value, we need to simplify. On which lines or which equation we need to take?
1 and 2.
Equation 1 and equation
2.
2. So equation 1 and equation 2, right? So if you do that, then directly I'm writing here. Okay, so 5x1 plus x2, x1 plus x2, right? So if you cancel this, then we are going to get 4x1 equals to 4, right? So x1 equals to 1. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going to be get here G points, which is x1 is 1, right? So if you substitute that 1 in, right, in the 5x1 plus x2, right? So we are going to be get x2
2.
value, how much?
2.
Sorry,
2. 2, sir,
x1 plus x2.
is equal to 10.
5x1 plus x2 equals to 10, right?
X2 is equals to 2.
No. x2 equals to 5, right?
X2 is equal to 5. Yeah, yes, sir.
x2 equals to 5,
Yes.
right? Okay, clear? Right? So we
Yes,
got
sir.
G point 1 comma 5. Now same thing, to find out H point, what we need to do? Which one we need to simplify?
Substitute equations 2 and 3.
Equation 2 and 3. Okay, so equation 2 and 3, same thing. If you cancel here, then here we are going to get 3x2 minus 6, right? So if you do here, then 6 by 3, 2, x2 we are going to get 2, and if you substitute that values in the any of the equation, then we are going to get even x1 also. So if you do like that, H, which we are going to get 4 comma 2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, so we need to substitute these values in the objective function. Any one of you can please tell me which points I need to take to
Points
substitute. Yeah,
B, G, H, and F.
yeah, point B, point G, and point H, and point E. Okay, so if you substitute point B values in the objective function, which you are going to be get 20. If it is G, you are going to be get 13. If it is H, which you are going to be get 16. And if it is E, which you are going to be get 36. Right? So which one you are going to be consider? Is it
G.
20, 13, 16, 36?
13.
Why 13?
Minimum cost.
Minimizing, no sir, minimize.
Exactly. Exactly. So you need to consider G. Why you are considering minimum value? Because the objective function is talking about which is a minimization. So on the G point, company is going to get minimum cost. Rather than taking this B and H and E, if they choose this G point, they are going to be get minimum cost. Any questions?
No, sir.
Do you have any questions? Now, if I give any number of constraints, the same procedure itself. Okay. So this is about the graphical method. This is about the graphical method, right? Now, let me ask you one question. Okay. So I think it's visible, right, to you? Is it visible? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, one constraint is less than equals to. Okay. So I already got this line. Okay. This is towards the origin. Okay. One constraint is greater than. I got line like this. Away from the origin. Okay. And one more point which I got, which is maybe less than equals to like this. Okay. That is, which is maybe towards the origin. Okay. Now which area I need to take? One is greater than, one is less than, and even one more is less than. This is first one, and this is second one. Sorry, this is first one. No, this is first one, right? Okay, this is first one, and this is second one, and no, this is second one, and this is third one. Yeah, which area I need to take? Are you confused?
The area which is covering equations 1 and 3.
1, 2, and 3 also. Okay, so that area which is from here, right? So if you take this first one is here. Okay, so and even second one is above. Okay, third one like this. So sometimes you are going to be get like this. So it is better when you are drawing the lines. So which is why I say to you, so once if you draw the line, it is better to draw either it may be towards or away from the origin. Draw, and definitely you are going to be get the point, and considering that point, then you need to solve this solution. That's it. Most probably they may not give you more than 3 constraints when they are asking to you graphical methods, and that too they may not confuse you by giving either maybe greater than or less than combinations. Even if they give you less than or greater than combinations in the constraints, right, you know very well about the basic funda. If it is less than, towards the origin. If it is greater than, away from the origin. So follow the same basic principle and solve the problem. That's it. Clear? Shall I solve one more problem or no need? Same procedure itself. Do you have any doubts? Please ask me. If you have any doubts, ask me. Any questions?
No, sir.
No? So shall we go ahead with one more method?
Yes, sir.
So as of now, we solved problems based on a graphical method, right? We solved problems based on graphical method. Okay, and that too, if they give you, if it is a maximization function, then constraint should be less than equals to, then if the constraint should be less than equals to, right, then when you are drawing graph, it is towards the origin, right? When suppose if you are solving the problems, right, objective function is a minimization and constraint should be greater than equals to. If it is a greater than equals to, then away from the origin or above from the origin. That's it. This is a basic funda in a graphical method, and the simplest one. Follow the step-by-step procedure, right? And even though if you know the value, see, simple. Now here x1 x2, if you put this x1, right, then x2 will become 0. Don't directly draw like these points, right? You just show in the examination to fill the papers step by step. Okay, so can that what happened? You are going to be make that it's a bigger format, and even the evaluator is also going to be think about that. Yes, this person or student knows very well about step-by-step procedure. Without any hesitation, you will get 14 out of 14 marks. Even if it is 17, you are going to be get 17 out of 17 also. Okay, fine. Shall I wrap this one?
Yes, sir.
So if you have any questions, please ask me in the graphical method. So see, in the second unit, if they want to ask you question, they may ask you question like this: solve the following linear programming problem by using graphical method. 99.99% they may give this question. 99.99% you will get this question. Now one more important method which I am discussing now, right? Most important, as of now I say to you, graphical method 99, 100% you will get this method without any doubt. And if it is not this method and you are lucky, and even external question paper setter gave some or gave some concern on you, right, not giving the simplex method. Okay, so now I'm explaining to you one more method in the linear programming problems, that is called simplex method. Okay, so as of now in the linear programming problems, right, so we solved, right, any given theoretical information will be converting into the mathematical format, right? That is, we wrote maximum z equals to, right, or minimum z equals to, and constraints, right, based on less than or greater than equals to, like that we wrote. Okay, then after that we solve problems graphical method, even in a minimization and a maximization. Now we have simplex method, a most important method, right? Simplex method is also called iterative method. Remember, simplex method is also called iterative method. Is also called
Iterative method.
Now see, in the examination, sometimes to make you confused, they may ask you a question like this: solve the following problem by using iterative method. So indirectly they're talking about
Simplex method.
So remember carefully, if I am the external paper setter, then I may not use this iterative method. No one will use, but some crack professors, they want to test your knowledge. Definitely they may ask you. like this: solve the following linear programming problem by using iterative method. So if they mention simplex, you may easily identify, but sometimes professor may use the other words, so you should know that. Okay, simplex method is also called iterative method. So why it is called iterative method? Because the procedure which we are going to be repeatedly, right, n number of times, which is called iterative method. Okay, so the person who is called GB dancing, okay, so not dancing, dancing, right? I think you heard about this word, this name, right? Who is this person? How many of you remember? I use this word. This is the second time I'm using. When I use this word? Come on, guys. Whenever I started linear programming problems last 3 days back, I used this word. In the year of 1947, G.B. Danching is a person who used this linear programming problems, or use this terminology, linear programming problems terminologies. So the same person who come up with the simplex method, right? Simplex method is also called iterative method. Okay, so why it is called simplex method or iterative method? Because see, the simplex is an important term in mathematics. Simplex is an important term in mathematics that represents an object in n-dimensional space connecting n plus 1 points. N dimensional space connecting n plus 1 points. Okay, so in one dimension, a simplex is a line segment connecting 2 points. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
The simplex is an important term in mathematics that represents an object in n dimensional space connecting n plus 1 points. Connecting n plus 1 points. Okay, so in one dimension, a simplex is a line segment connecting 2 points. Okay, in 2 dimensions, it is a triangle formed by joining 3 points. Hope you understand. If it is 1 dimension, it is connecting how many points?
2 points.
2 points. If it is 2 dimensions,
3 points.
3 points. So if it is in a 3 dimensions,
4 points.
4 points or 4 corners. Okay, clear? So this is a basic information, right? Now listen, a basic funda which I'm explaining to you. If you know this, then it is easy. Step by step. Here in the simplex method, one step, after that one step, and after that one step. You need to know about all those steps, right? So if you forget one step, then you will stuck in the problem, right? So without stucking to go ahead with the problem, only one mantra, you need to practice the problems. That's it. Okay. So see, we have different types of variables here. So see, as of now, we come across less than equals to and greater than equals to constraints, right? So if the given constraint is less than equals to, right, to make inequality to equality in the simplex method, right, which we are going to be add one variable which is called slack variable, which is going to be represented plus S1. What is this S1?
Slack variable.
Slack variable. So what is the slack variable, right? So see, which is amount of unused resources. It refers to the amount of unused resources like raw materials, labors and money, etc. What is the slack variable? Unused resources, right? So to make inequality to equality, which we are going to be add slack variable, which is going to be represented with the plus S1. Okay, Venkat Reddy. Who is this Venkat Reddy? Your faculty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see, to make inequality to equality, the given constant is less than equals to. So suppose if the given constant is less than equals to make inequality to equality, which we are going to be add plus S1. Okay, so what is this plus S1, right? Is a slack variable. What is a slack variable? Which is unused resources. What are those unused resources? Which is labor, right? Or maybe material, all those things. Okay. Now suppose, listen carefully. If the given constraint is greater than equals to, right, to make inequality to equality, which we are going to be subtract with minus S1. Minus S1, and we are going to be add plus A1. That plus A1 keep aside, we'll discuss later. Okay, so minus S1. What is this minus S1? Here we are representing slack variable is also S, and even next one to make inequality to equality, which is given constant is greater than equals to make to convert that into equal format, then we are subtracting with the one more variable which is called surplus variable. Surplus variable. Surplus variable which is representing minus S1. Okay, minus S1. Okay, so what is this surplus variable? Again, see, is the amount of resources by which the left hand side of the equation exceeds the minimum limit. Excess amount which we are removing from the equation. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Now any one of you can please tell me, the given constant is less than equals to make inequality to equality, which variable we are going to be add?
Slack variable.
What is slack variable?
Unused resources.
Exactly. So the given constant is greater than equals to make inequality to equality, right? We need to subtract with the one variable. What is that variable?
Surplus variable.
Right? So what is surplus variable? Which is excess amount has to be removed to make inequality to equality. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So usually what we do, minus S1 plus A1. A1 is an artificial variable. Okay, so I'm not confusing you to explain this now itself. Okay, now as of now, even the graphical method also, we solved our problems or constraints less than equals to or greater than equals to, but we did not come across with the equals to. In the simplex method, you are going to get even equals to constraint also. If it is a constant is equals to, right? So for that which we are going to be add A1. So A1 is artificial variable. Artificial variable. So artificial variable is a temporary slack variable which will be used for the calculation purpose. Then later it will be removed from the simplex table. These three is the most important one. This three is a basic funda. Do you have any questions as of now? Please ask me. I will repeat once again all these three. Any doubts? Shall I repeat once again?
Yes, sir. Repeat it once again.
Yeah, listen. See, when you are solving simplex problem, right? So the first and foremost one, the given problem, you have to be expressed into the standard format. When you are expressing in the standard format, the first step in the simplex method, you need to observe this symbol in the constraint. Okay, is it less than equals to or greater than equals to or equals to constraint? Okay, suppose if the given constraint is less than equals to constraint, to make inequality to equality of that constraint, which you are going to be add slack variable, which is left hand side. I'm talking about left hand side. I think hope maybe you are going to be right like this, right? X1 plus X2 less than equals to 4. So how we are going to be right? X1 plus X2 plus S1 equals to 4. This is what I'm talking about. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? So the given constant is less than equals to make inequality to equality, which we are going to be add slack variable in the left hand side plus S1. So what is the slack variable? Unused resources. What is the slack variable?
Unused
Unused resources. Okay, either maybe material or maybe labor, which is going to be added, unused resources, to make inequality to equality. Now suppose one more, if the given constraint is greater than equals to constraint, to make inequality to equality, which we are going to be subtract with the minus s1 and we'll add plus a1. Okay, so what is this minus s1, which is surplus variable, right? So is it what is that, excess amount has to be removed from left hand side, so can that will make it equal. So can that will make it equal. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Now if the given constraint is equals to, right, to make that we are going to be add plus a1. So what is that a1, which is artificial variable, right? Artificial variable is a temporary slack variable which will be used for the calculation purpose and later it will be removed. This artificial variable which we are going to be used if the given objective function is a minimization, then again we have a two methods, that is called two-phase method and big M method. This part which we are not using, if you get greater than or equals to in the minimization case, right? Because why I'm saying minimization case, because the constraint is greater than or equals to, right, in the minimization case. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay, so slack variable, surplus variable, artificial variable. Now how you are going to be identify slack or surplus? Any one of you?
Less than and symbols, sir.
Sorry?
Less than and greater than constraints.
Exactly. And even one more, which is, see, by seeing this is 90% and at the same time even is by seeing this symbol minus. If it is a plus, slack. If it is minus,
Surplus.
surplus variable. Okay, clear? Now listen, right? So if the given constant is less than equals to, then we are going to be add slack variable, right? If it is given constant is greater than equals to make inequality to equality, which we are going to be subtract with minus s1, right? And if the given constant is equals to, which we are going to be add artificial variable, right? So artificial variable is a temporary slack variable, again temporary slack variable, right, which will be removed from the problem, right? Later it will be removed from the problem. I mean to say about that, later it will be removed from the simplex table. Okay, so now we are not talking about these two for the simplex method, right? So let me check your syllabus copy whether it was included this two-phase method or big M method or not. Venkatesh sir, are you there, sir? I think he joined. Okay, fine. Do you have any doubts as of now?
No, sir.
If you have any doubts, please ask me now itself, because this is basic step. Then after that we have n number of steps like this. Okay, now see, I'm randomly writing maximum z equals to 2x1 plus 4x2 subject to constraint x1 plus x2 less than equals to 5, 2x1 plus 5x2 less than equals to 10, right? So non-negativity restriction x1 comma x2 greater than equals to 0. This is your problem. They gave problem like this. Solve the following problem by using simplex method. Is it clear? Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, so see this next step in the simplex method, first step, right? So you need to express given LPP into standard format, right? Express given LPP into standard form. Okay, so how to express the given LPP into standard form? As of now, I say to you the same thing which I'm doing. Forget about this maximization, right? So keep aside for time being this objective function. Now I'm talking about this. Now any one of you can please tell me, to make inequality to equality, what I need to do here?
x1 plus x2
X1 plus X2
plus s1
plus S1
equal to 5.
equals to 5. Why I wrote this S1?
To make the
Make
inequalities.
equal symbol.
Because it is an unequal form, to make equal, so which we added plus S1. To make inequality to equality, which we add plus S1. What is this S1?
Slack variable.
Exactly, good. Now second constraint,
2x1 plus
to make
5x2
equality to equality, 2x1 plus 5x2.
plus s2
Exactly, good,
is equals to 10.
good. Okay, now I'm writing here objective function maximum z equals to 2x1 plus 4x2. This slack variable coefficient in the objective function becomes 0. Okay, plus 0 s1 plus 0 s2. Any doubts?
Why does it become 0 quotient, sir?
So we need to assume that, because we don't know about that value, right? So we are going to be assume that 0 itself.
Okay.
Did you understand this procedure?
Yes, sir.
For this, only this point you will get. If I am the evaluator of your paper, if you write this, I will give 3 marks. For this step, 3 marks. If it is 14 marks, I will divide like this. For this, 3 marks, and again next 3 marks, like that. Did you understand this? If you have any questions now itself, please ask me. This is a most important one. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Now,
Sir,
any
if
one of
there
you,
are-
yeah, who is that?
if there are 3 constraints, then we have to take S3, sir.
That's it. If it is 4
Okay.
constant, S4. If it is 5 constant, S5.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
coefficient of slack variables in the objective function 0. That's it. 0 s1 plus 0 s2 plus 0 s3 plus 0 s4, so on like that. Most probably in the examination, because you have a limited time, they may give you maximum 2 constraints to 3 constraints. That's it. If you get 4 constraint, now the simplex problem, you need to go ahead with the n5 tables like that. Okay, this is a first step. This is first step. Do you have any doubts here? Please ask me. If you have any questions or any doubts, please ask me now itself. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? So now, any one of you tell me non-negativity restriction here. x1 comma x2 comma s1 comma s2 greater than equals to 0. You need to write this. Okay, clear? Now,
Yes.
now I am writing here, right? Initial basic feasible solution. What is IBFS?
Initial basic feasible solution.
Initial basic feasible solution. Okay, so this is the second step. Now based on this, in the constraints, so we'll assume x1 and x2 is 0, right? x1 comma x2 is equals to 0. Now s1 becomes
5.
exactly, s2 becomes,
10.
this is second step. Any questions?
No, sir.
This is first step and this is second step in the simplex method. This is first step and this is second step. I repeat one more time. If they give, solve the following problem by using simplex method. Maximum z equals to 2x1 plus 4x2 subject to consider x1 plus x2 less than or equals to 5, 2x1 plus 5x2 less than or equals to 10, x1 comma x2 greater than or equals to 0. First you need to do, right? So when you get this problem, right, first check objective function is maximum or minimum. What about the constraints? That's it. Okay, now you will get an idea. Yes, it is less than or equals to, no problem at all. Okay, and let me tell you even one more thing here, right, and basic information. Suppose x1 plus x2, right, which is less than equals to minus 10. You got this constraint. Any one of you repeat that? One constraint they gave in the problem, x1 plus x2 less than equals to minus 10. One more basic funda in the simplex method, right side values should be non-negative. What is that? It should be
Non-negative.
non-negative. Okay, so simple here, what we need to do, right, to make it a non-negative, which we are going to multiply with the minus 1 both the side. So now can you please tell me this equation?
Minus x1
Minus x.
minus x2.
When you are multiplying in the both sides, then default this constraint may become greater than and it becomes 10. That's it. This is one more basic funda. So objective function, constraint, and this right hand side value should be positive, should be non-negative. Suppose if you get negative value, so how to make it positive, right? We are multiplying with the minus 1 both the sides, then by default signs may change, minus x1 minus x2 greater than equals to 10. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
No, right? So see, after that what we are going to be do, so I will explain to you the simple procedure. Okay, understand? So now after that we are going to be make simplex table like this. Simplex table like this. So what is that? Which is CBBXB like that. Okay, I will tell you what is that CBBXB, right? And CJ, JJ values. So we'll write here x1, x2. How many variables here? We have x1, x2, s1, s2. Okay. So C will write, I will write here, which is CBBXB. Okay, right? Now x1, x2, s1, s2. Fine. So CJ, that means coefficients of the x1 values in the objective function. X1 coefficient in the objective function, how much? Is 2, 4, 0, 0, right? So in the initial basic feasible solution, S1, S2, so we'll write here S1 and S2. What about the coefficient of this S1 and S2 in the objective function? It becomes 0, 0. And in the initial basic feasible solution, S1 value, how much here? How much?
5,
What about S2?
10,
10.
10.
Okay. Now we'll write here the x1 and x2 values based on the constraint. How about here? X1 1, x2 1, s1 1, s2 is there here?
0,
0. Then what about here?
2,
2,
5,
5,
0,
1. So how many of you how many of you are observing here? What is this? 1 0 0 1?
In first constraint, we don't have S2 value, so we'll take 0.
No. I'm talking about here 1 0 0 1. So we got matrix here.
No, matrix.
So I say to you, one dimension is a simple in a simplex is a line segment connecting to the 2 points, if it is 2 dimension connecting to the 3 points, if it is 3 dimension connecting to the 4 points, if it is 4 dimensions connecting to the 5 points, like that. Okay, so initially you are going to be get matrix. Fine. Now here which you are going to be write Zj. So what is this Zj, right? So x1 into 0 plus this 2 into 0, then this x1 value, Zj value become here. So rough, which I am explaining to you the procedure, try to understand that. Do you have any doubts up to here? Any doubts? I know very well about that. You still did not understand. Don't worry. I will repeat once again, right? Did you understand this? This procedure?
No.
No. Fine. Now listen carefully. Now we need to make a simplex table. Okay. So when you make a simplex table, I wrote here CB, B and XB. What is B? Slack variables, right? To make inequality to equality, which we wrote, which we added some slack or surplus variables. So we wrote S1 and S2. Right? Okay. Now what is this XB? In the initial basic feasible solution, S1 value is 5 and S2 value is 10. So we wrote this. Now CB is coefficient of this S1 in the objective function. How much? Coefficient of the S1 value in the objective function. Is it 1 or 0?
0.
0. So 0. Okay. Now this is S1 is in the first constraint, right? Okay. So I'm taking this first constraint, x1 1, right? x2 1, S1 1. There is no S2, which is why I have put here 0. I place here 0. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
any doubts? No, right? Now, second constraint, 2x1. So I have put here 2 and x2 is 5, right? Is there S1 in the second constraint?
No.
Now, what is the value here?
0.
0. And S2 is there. So we'll keep 1 here.
1.
Okay. Right. Now we need to calculate here Zj values. How to calculate Zj value? Listen, x1 into CB plus second constraint x1 value into CB. Okay. x1 into CB plus second constraint x1 value into CB. So 1 into 0 plus 2 into 0. By default, in the simplex table, first simplex table, Zj values, always you should get 0 itself. Why? Why? Why?
Coefficient is 0 na, sir.
Exactly. So I will make it big, this one, so can that you will, it will be clearly visible to you. Okay. S1, S2, 5, 10, 0, 0, right? So x1, x2, S1, S2, Cj, coefficient of x1 x1 coefficient in the objective function 2, x2 coefficient in the objective function 4, S1 coefficient in the objective function 0, and S2 coefficient in the objective function is 0. Okay. Now 1, 1, 1, 0, right? 2, 5, 0, 1. Is it clear? Is
Yes, sir.
now what I'm doing here, to get Zj value, right? So I'm multiplying 1 into 0 plus 2 into 0. It becomes 0. 1 into 0 plus 5. 1 into 0 plus 0 into 0. It becomes 0. 0 into 0 plus 1 into 0. It becomes 0. So always when you are making simplex table, right? Remember, first simplex table ZJ values should be 0. If you get any positive value, somewhere you did wrong. Simple. Maybe here you have taken any one positive value, which is why you are going to get here positive value. That's it. Is it clear? Hello? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Now what we are going to be do? Cj minus Zj. What is that? How to do Cj minus Zj? Which is Cj value 2, Zj minus Zj value 0. Cj minus Zj 2 minus 0, 2, 4 minus 0, 4, 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 0, 0. Now remember, in the simplex problem, in the simplex method, right? When we'll stop the procedure, either the Cj minus Zj value should be 0 or negative values when you are going to be stopped, or when it is going to be say optimal.
Either 0 or negative value.
Is exactly. So you should get either 0 or negative value. Okay. If you get any one positive value, now again next step. So what is that first step which we did in simplex method? Express given LPP into standard form. Then after that, initial basic feasible solution. Then after that, based on this, we made it in a first simplex table, right? Now we are going to be check Cj minus Zj value. If you get here in the first time itself minus 1, minus 1, 0, 0 or 0, 0, 0, 0, then this problem is optimal, and then we'll stop, and next procedure is different again. But whereas we got here the positive value. So check here Cj minus Zj value. Is it a positive value which we got? Yes?
Yes, sir. Positive
Pay
value.
attention here. Most important question which I'm discussing, and most important method which I'm discussing now. Okay. So which one is the maximum value here?
4.
4, it's 2.
So 4 is a maximum value. It becomes key column
Column.
or pivot column. How to identify key column or pivot column?
Considering the maximum value.
Maximum value. Okay. Clear? Right? Now, which is minimum exchange ratio. So we need to find out minimum exchange ratio, which is how to calculate XB divided by key column. So we got key column, which is X2. Okay. How to find out minimum exchange ratio is also mentioned theta. How to find out minimum exchange ratio? XB divided by key column. Where we got key column? Is it on X1 or X2 or S1 or S2?
X2.
X2. So XB how much? XB how much? Here
5.
5 divided by 1 how much?
5.
5.
Now next one 5, sorry 10, right? Okay, 10. 10 divided by 5 how much?
2.
2. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Now how we identified key column?
Taking the maximum value
Which maximum value?
from
Cj
Cj minus
minus Zj.
Exactly. Cj minus Zj value, maximum value, which become key column or pivot column. Right? We identified that. Now based on that, to find out minimum exchange ratio is also mentioned as a theta, right? XB divided by X2. Okay. So why we wrote here X2? Because we got key column. Suppose if you got X1 key column, then XB divided by X1. Suppose if you got key column S1, XB divided by S1. Suppose you got key column S2, XB divided by S2. That's it. Okay. So to find out minimum exchange ratio, xb divided by key column. Okay, what is that key column? Which is x2, xb divided by x2. So 5 divided by 1, 5, 10 divided by 5, 2, right? Next, any doubts as of now?
No, sir.
Now, to identify key row, right? And one more thing, if you get any negative value, no need to consider. If you get zero value, no need to consider. Positive value only and not zero. If it is starting 1, even if it is 0 also, we are not considering that. If it is negative value also, we are not considering that. Positive value other than 0. Okay, and that too minimum value will become key row.
Hero.
Key row or pivot row. How to identify key row?
Minimum value.
Minimum value. Suppose if it is 0, will you take that as a key row? Suppose you got here 5 and here 0. Which one you will take key row?
0.
Who said this? Soumya?
Yes, sir.
I said other than 0. Other
Okay.
than 0. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Other than 0, right? Minimum value you need to consider.
Okay, sir.
Fine. And if you get negative value, will you consider that? Respond.
No, sir.
No. That's it. Okay, clear? So 5 by 1, 5, 10 by 5, 2, then minimum value is 2. So this becomes key row. This become key row. Now listen carefully. Intersecting point of key column and key row is become
Key element.
key element or pivot
Element.
element. If you have any doubts, please ask me now. This is still example. I'm explaining to you based on randomly I have taken one few values and I'm explaining to you. Still this is not optimal because we did not got here zeros or negative. So when you are going to be stopped?
Until you get 0 or negative value.
Where?
In the CJ minus ZJ.
Which is why it is called
Simplex.
other name.
Iterative method.
So we are repeating same procedure, right? So which is why it is called iterative method. One more name of simplex method is called iterative method. Okay? Clear? Do you have any questions? Please ask me now. How many of you watched Bahubali movie? No one.
Everyone.
So I think what is that first Bahubali 1? Ramakrishna will come up with this young boy of Prabhas with the hand, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We are now at the beginning of the movie in the simplex. Even not at Kalakaya entered. Okay?
Yes.
Right? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions as of now?
No, sir.
No? Fine. Now see, next step. Now again, we are going to be write one more, right? That one statement after this. Okay. Which one is a key row? Which one is
S2.
key row?
S2.
S2. Okay. So we'll write one statement. S2 leaves the basis and X2
Enter.
enters into the basis. Okay. So what I'm saying, if it is key row, I think hope you understand arrow. So that has to be leave from this initial simplex table, and which one has to enter? X2 has to enter in the place of S2. So I'm writing here S2 leaves the basis and X2 enters into the basis. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now see what we are going to be do here. Again same table. Okay, don't use scales and pencils to draw these tables. Okay, so even if you are fast at drawing, fine, but don't waste to make it, but it should be look like a neat condition. Then only we are going to be get a good score. Few people will make it mess like this, which I made in on the board. Okay, don't draw like that. So very neatly you need to present that in the examination. Okay, so for that also you will get marks. Fine. So see the same thing again, CB, B and XB, X1, X2, S1 and S2. Now any one of you can you please tell me, is it necessary to write again S2 here?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, S2, right? Now see first one S1. Okay, now second one which is in the S2 place, which we got X2. Okay, so S1 value in the initial basic feasible solution, how much is that?
0.
No, initial basic feasible solution
5, sir.
5. Okay, so I'm not writing here that, so I'm making here CB value is 0, right, and X2 value in the objective function, right, so which is this is CJ 2, 4, 0 and 0, this becomes 4. Okay, right? Now listen, most important one, if you understand this, then whole simplex process you may complete without any hurdles. But if you did not understand this, then maybe again you are going to be stuck. Okay, now how to write and which one has to write and how to identify this X2 values. Okay, so now see, listen carefully. I'm considering this is R1 volt. What is R1? Row 1 volt, and this is R2 volt. Any doubts?
No, sir.
I'm considering the first constraint values R1 volt and R2 volt. Why it is volt? Because initial table, right? We already done that. Okay, now this is second new simplex table based on this which we are writing. Okay, so first remember one more step again. Which one leaves the basis and which one enters into the basis, that has to be find out first initially in the new table. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
What we need to do here, first we need to find out this X2 value. Okay, now I'm considering here this is R1 new and this is R2 new. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No? Right? Now first we need to find out this. To find out this, which is Sunil sir simple formula, R2 new is equals to R2 old divided by key element. To find out R2 new, right, is equals to R2 old divided by key element. Now any one of you can please tell me the values. R2 old value 10, key element 10 by 5, 10 by 5,
2.
2 by 5, I'm writing 2 by 5, 5 by 5, 1, 0 by 5, 0, 1 by 5. Any doubts?
Sir, we should not take decimals there, sir. We have to write 2 by 5 and 1 by 5.
It is better to take 2 by 5 like that. If you take decimals again, you are going to get confused. It is
Okay,
better to
sir.
take like this 2 by 5 itself, 1 by 5 like that.
Okay.
Okay, for the calculation purpose, it will be easy to you. Any doubts? Do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Right? Now Kalikaya enters. Okay. Now Prabhas and Rana is fighting. Okay. So to find out R1, R1 new is equals to, right, R1 old minus key column value of that corresponding row, R1 new, I'm finding R1 new, right? So to find out R1 new, R1 old minus key column value of that corresponding row, key column value of that corresponding row. What is that? Key
1.
column value of that corresponding row, key column value of that corresponding row. This one, right?
Yes, sir.
So key column value of that corresponding row, right? R1 new equals to R1 old minus key column value of that corresponding row into R2 new. Did you understand this? Come on.
Yes, sir.
Explain it once again, sir.
I will explain once again. Listen, this is first initial simplex table, right? Okay. Now to write next new simplex table, okay, first which one has entered, that has to be solved. X2 entered, so I'm solving first that. Okay. So this is R1 new and then this is R2 new. So where X2, it is in R1 or R2 new?
R2 new.
R2 new. So to find out R2 new equals to R2 old divided by key element. Divided by key element. Okay. Right. So what I did? So 10 divided by 5, 2 by 5, 5 by 5, 1, 0 by 5, 0, 1 by 5. We got the values. Okay, clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now to find out R1 new, right? So you need to write this equation, right? Or formula. R1 new equals to R1 old. R1 new equals to R1 old. To find out this, right? I'm talking about this to find out this value. R1 old minus key column value of that corresponding row. For this one becomes same one itself, key column value of that corresponding row into R2 new value. So to get this value, I'm saying about that 5 minus, okay, 1 into 2. So how much? 5 minus 2 into 2, 2, it becomes 3. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Sir, how did we get 2 over there? 1 into 2.
R2 new. R2 new.
2 by 3 అవుతుంది.
R2 new. R2 new value. To find out this value, right? So whereas here, to find out this
Okay.
value, I am considering R1 old value 5 minus key column value of that corresponding row, key column value of that corresponding row 1, right, into R2 new value. How much?
Okay. R2 new value. Okay.
Yes,
2.
that's it. Okay, now to find out this value, any one of you can please tell me? To find out this value, any one of you can please tell me? To
1 minus 1 into
1 minus 1 into
2 by 5.
2 by 5.
2 by 5, exactly. Same thing. To find out this, to find out this,
1 minus
Ah.
1 into 1.
exactly, good. To find out this,
1 minus
Minus 1 into 0.
exactly. To find out this,
0 minus
0 minus,
minus 1 into 1 by 5.
that's it. Okay, now any one of you can please tell me, suppose rather than this key row or pivot row, I got this, okay, are you following?
yes, sir.
For time being, let us assume that we did not got key row, we got key row this. Okay, now which one leaves the basis and which one enters the basis?
S1 leaves the basis and X1 enters the basis.
S1 leaves the basis,
And X2 enters the basis.
yes,
Okay.
S1 leaves the basis and X2 enter into the basis.
ఎట్లా
Okay.
తెలుసు సార్ అది?
Who is this? Who is this?
జయంత్.
Jayant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jayant. Let me ask you one thing. So you are asking about, sir, etla telustadi adi. Now let me explain to you very clearly again. So which one leaves and which one enter into basis? Simple. This arrow is showing that, is it upward or downward?
Upward.
Upward.
Right. What about this arrow?
It's towards the right.
It is going out from the simplex table.
Out. Yeah.
Okay. Clear?
Okay.
Now you got.
Yeah.
Now suppose
Okay.
if you got this is key row, if you got this is key row, one second. Okay, if you got this is key row, right? So which one leaves the basis and which one enter into the basis in the new table? Jayant.
S1 enters the
S1
S1
leaves
leaves the table. X2
Ah.
enters the table.
exactly. Now suppose
Sir,
key,
ఇప్పుడు arrows చేంజ్ చేయొచ్చు కదా సార్? అట్లా ఇప్పుడు
arrows change.
నాకు ఇంకా అర్థం కాలేదు సార్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు బేస్డ్ అపాన్ ఆర్ఎస్ మీరు అంటున్నారు కదా.
No, listen carefully. Listen carefully. It depends upon key column and key row.
ఓకే.
It depends upon key column and key row. Where we got key column? Is it
X2.
X1 or X2?
X2.
Exactly. Good. So X2. Where we got key row?
S2.
This is key.
Row.
No, X2.
X2 key column.
X2 key column. S2.
Key row.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
sir.
based on this,
Rows and columns.
now based on this, I'm writing S2 leaves the basis, X2 enter into the basis. So key column, that one will be enter into the basis, and which one leaving, which one is a key row, which is going to be leave. That's it. I hope, I think you got. Still confused.
Confused.
Okay, listen carefully. Now, yeah, who is this? Repeat once again. Name?
జయంత్.
Jayant, key column we got x1.
ఓకే.
Key column we got x1. Key row we got s2.
ఓకే.
Okay.
ఓకే.
Now listen carefully. S2 leaves the basis, x1 enter into the basis. Now you got?
సార్ ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ యువర్ పాయింట్ సార్, బట్
Hmm.
ఎట్లా చెప్పాలి సార్?
తెలుగులో చెప్పు, పర్లేదు. కాలకే కదా ఇది, పర్లేదు, మనకు అర్థమవుతుంది. కిలికిలి భాష మాత్రం మాట్లాడద్దు, నాకు అర్థం కాదు.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది సార్? ఇప్పుడు కాలం ఇది, ఇప్పుడు మీది ఇది
కీ కాలం ఎలా
X2
తెలుస్తుంది?
కదా, X2 ఉంది కదా, X2 ఉంది కదా, అది ఎప్పుడు వెళ్ళిపోతుందా? అంటే ఇప్పుడు కాలం వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, రో ఎంటర్ అవుతుందా ప్రతి దాంట్లో?
రో వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, కాలం ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది
కదా.
ఆ?
మీరు అదే అంటున్నారు కదా, అదే S2
Row,
అంటే
row.
ఇప్పుడు
ఎక్స్
రో వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, కాలం ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది కదా.
అవును, రో వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, కాలం ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది.
ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది అంతేనా ప్రతి దానికి?
అంతే.
ఓకే ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే, రో బయటికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, కాలం ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది.
ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే
ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్.
సేమ్ థింగ్ జయంత్, S1 key column. Okay, Jayant,
ఓకే సార్. ఓకే ఓకే సార్.
S1 key column. Okay, S2 key row. Now you tell me which one leaves the basis and which one enter into the basis. S1 is key column.
S1 leaves the basis, X2 enters the basis.
Exactly, good, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions still? Okay, so we'll get the values here same as we did. Then again Cj minus Zj, then we'll calculate, we'll get the values here. Then we'll calculate Cj minus Zj values, we'll get here. Suppose even still you will get here positive value, right? And again we need to check that positive value, that becomes key column. Then again xb divided by, if it is x1, then xb divided by x1, then we'll get here the values, and minimum value becomes key row, and minimum value where we are going to be get, that become key row. Then that will be leaves from the basis, and key column value enter into the new table. That's it. Suppose you got here all zeros and negative value, then we'll say we'll stop here itself, and the remaining values based on this we are going to be substitute that values in the objective function, and we'll close the problem. So when we are going to be stop the problem, till Cj minus Zj values should be negative or 0. Is it clear? Is
Yes,
it clear?
sir.
Yes sir.
Now, yeah. So I think Jayant, your doubt clarified. Jayant.
Yes sir. Yeah sir. Yeah. It's clarified.
So hope, I think everyone understood Kalikeya. Huh? Now, so see, if you understand, this is the most important one. That is what even I'm trying to explaining before asking Jayant doubt. Now listen carefully. Suppose, right, instead of key row we got S1. We got S1 is a key row. That means which is R1 volt is a key row. Okay, in the new table, okay, so R1 new, R2 new, right? Is it clear? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Now what I'm saying, instead of this S2, let us assume like that, we got minimum value here, and it becomes key row. Then obviously what happened? S1 leaves the basis and X2 enter into the basis.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? S1 leaves the basis, X2 enter into the basis. Okay, now any one of you can please tell me, in the new table, shall I calculate first R1 or R2?
R1.
Exactly. Who said this one?
Soumya, sir.
Good. Why Soumya? Why we need to calculate R1 new first?
Um, the key row should be calculated first, sir, to get the new values.
Exactly, good. This is a basic funda again here. Okay, so first you need to calculate R1 new. So to calculate R1 new, now my formula is R1 new equals to
Pivot old
R1 old
R1 old divided by pivot element.
divided by key element, yeah, pivot element. Okay, now you got R1 new values. Now to calculate R2 new, now any one of you can please tell me formula other than Soumya? Let me help you. R2 new equals to R2 old minus key column value of that corresponding row into, is it R2 new or R2 new or R1 new?
R1 new.
R1 new, that's it. Suppose if you have maybe R1, R2, R3, same procedure, that's it. If you understand this, then in new table it's become easy to you. Then simple, same procedure which we are going to repeat till to get Cj minus Zj value positive. Okay. Okay. Shall we go to one problem?
Yes, sir.
Yes. %100% you will get this question. So let me take one simple problem, right, without confusing you. Okay, same procedure I'm implementing here. Please follow step by step. Okay, now let me take one problem. Yeah, so see, problem will be like this. Maximum Z equals to 3x1 plus 4x2 subject to constraints x1 plus x2 less than equals to 450, 2x1 plus x2 less than equals to 600, non-negativity restriction x1 comma x2 greater than equals to 0. So they give problem like this. Solve the following problem by using simplex method or iterative method. Okay, what is first step?
There's a given LPP in standard form.
So express given LPP into standard form. So I'm doing the same thing. Express given LPP into standard form. Okay. So first one, any one of you can please tell me x1 plus x2
Plus S1
plus s1.
is equals to 450.
So is there any right-handed side values is a negative?
No.
What about objective function?
Maximum Z.
What about constraints?
Less than or equal to.
Exactly. So before starting your problem, you need to check all these things, whether the objective function is a maximum or a minimum, first thing, and the right hand side values are all negative, all positive or any
Or
negative,
negative.
right? If it is a negative, then we are going to be, yeah.
Multiply with -1.
Yes. One second. I'm getting one important call. I will be back in. Fine. Now what is next step? What is next step?
2x1 plus x2
2x1.
plus x2.
So I think only Soumya itself is responding. What about others? 2x1 plus x2
plus s2
plus s2 equals to
600.
600. Okay. Now maximum z equals to
3x1 plus
3x1 plus 4x2
plus 0s1
plus 0s1
plus 0s2.
plus 0s2. Okay. Now non-negative restriction x1 comma x2 comma s1 comma s2 greater than equals to 0. Fine. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now initial basic feasible solution. Okay. So if I assume s1 and s2, s1 sorry x1 and x2 0. Okay. If I assume x1 and x2 0, x1 comma x2 equals to 0, then what about s1?
450.
What about s2?
600.
600.
Do you have any questions as of now? Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Right? Now, see, initial simplex table I'm drawing here. Who is that? I'm getting some disturbance from your side. Is it visible to you in the corner?
No, sir.
No? Okay, let me draw and somewhat down. Yeah. Right. Is it fine if I draw here?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now first one CB, B and XB, CB, B and XB. Fine. Now how many variables we have? X1, X2, S1, S2. Right. Now B, S1 and S2. So I'm taking in the initial basic feasible solution S1, S2. Fine. Okay. Now what about CB, which is a coefficient of S1 in the objective function? How much?
0.
0, 0. The initial basic feasible solution value of S1, which is
450.
450,
600.
600. Okay. So this is CJ. So coefficient value of x1 in the objective function. How much?
3.
3. What about 2?
4.
What about S1? 0, 0.
0.
Now the first constant values. Any one of you can please tell me?
1.
1.
1,
1.
1,
1.
1,
0.
0. What about second one?
2, 1.
2, 1,
0. 1.
0, 1.
0, 1. Okay. So ZJ. So how to calculate ZJ?
CB into
Yeah. X1. 1 X1 into CB.
into
1
CB
into
plus
0 plus 2 into 0. 1 into 0 plus 2 into 0. Okay. 1 into 0 plus 2 into 0. Suppose if you have one more constant, 1 into 0, 2 into 0, 3 into 0. So value. Okay. So 0. 1 into 0 plus 1 into 0. 0. 1 into 0 plus 0 into 0. 0. 1 into 0 plus 1 into 0.
0.
0. So remember, I said to you already, in the initial simplex table, always you need to get ZJ value should be 0. If you get any positive value here, then you did somewhere wrong here. Okay, now Cj minus Zj. Now Cj minus Zj, right? So 3 minus 0,
3,
3,
4 minus 0,
4,
0 minus 0,
0,
0 minus 0.
0,
Key column.
4, x2.
4,
Are,
highest
are
value
you
4.
following everyone?
Yes, sir.
How to identify key column?
Maximum value.
Maximum value. So because we did not get here the zeros, all zeros, we got positive value, right? One is 3 and one is 4. So maximum value will become key column. So x2, right? So to find out minimum exchange ratio or theta, xb divided by
X2.
X2.
xb divided by x2, xb divided by x2. Okay, 450 divided by 1, it becomes 450. 600 divided by 1, it becomes ఏమొచ్చిందట? Who is that? Huh? Okay, 600 divided by 1,
600.
600. Okay, fine. Now how to identify key row?
Minimum value.
Minimum value, which one is minimum value? 450. This
Sir,
is
600 divided by 2 కదా.
key, this one sir.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Sir, okay, sir.
Now key row is S1. Okay, now what is your statement?
S1 leaves the basis. Sorry. Yes, S1 leaves the basis and x2 enters the basis.
And x2 enters into the basis. S1 leaves the basis and x2 enter into the basis. X2 enters into the basis. Okay, now my new table again. Okay, so CB, B and XB, X1, X2, S1, S2, CJ, 3, 4, 0, 0, right? So now, which is, this is key row, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is
Key element.
key element. Okay, so S1 leaves the basis and X2 enter into the basis. Fine. Now X2 enters here. This is become S2. Okay, so X2 coefficient.
4,
4.
What about S2 coefficient? 0.
0.
So now we need to find out first this one, right? R1 new.
Yes, sir.
R1 new equals to
R1 old divided by key element.
key element. 450 divided by 1.
450.
1 divided by 1.
1.
1 divided by 1.
1.
1 divided by 1.
1,
0 divided by 1.
0.
Now S2, we need to find out this. Okay, so R2 new equals to R2 old minus key column value of that corresponding row into R1 new. To find out this, R2 old minus key column value of that corresponding row into R1 new. 600 minus 1 into 450. So it becomes 600 minus 450. How much?
150.
150. Now to get this value, 2 minus 1 into 1. How much? Huh?
2.
2 minus 1 into 1, which is 2 minus 1 into 1, 1. It becomes
1.
1. Okay. Now 1 minus 1 into 1,
0.
0. 0 minus 1 into 1. How much?
0 into 1.
1.
Minus 1. 0 minus 1 into 1. Minus 1. Okay. Now next 1
into
1
1
minus 1 minus
1 into 0.
1 into 0.
1.
1. Okay, clear? Now ZJ. 1 into 4 plus 1 into 0.
4.
1 into 4 plus 1 into 0.
4.
Sorry, 0 into 0.
4 again.
4. 1 into 4 plus minus 1 into 0.
4.
4.
0 into 4 plus 1 into 0.
0.
0. Now CJ minus ZJ. 3 minus 4.
Minus 1.
4 minus 4.
0.
0 minus 4.
4. Minus 4.
0 minus 0.
0.
What happened here?
All the values are in negative and
Yes. Since all the values are negative, negative value or 0 value, we did not get any positive value. So this solution is optimal. This solution is optimal. Do you have any doubts? Any doubts? Now what we need to do, so we'll stop here itself. So I'm writing here, I'm substituting those values in the objective function. Okay, so what is our objective function? Maximum, maximum
Z
z
is equal to
equals to 3x1
4x.
is 4x2. So see, we'll write this one, right? Express the given LPP into standard form, right? 3x1 plus 4x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2. Okay, 3x1 plus 4x2 plus 0s1 plus 0s2. Okay, now you need to take the values here because we did not got here the x1, so we'll consider that is a 0 itself. Okay, so here which values was entered, that values we are going to be considered and we'll substitute in the objective function. So we did x1 was not entered and it was not entered, even still we got optimal, so x1 will become 0. So 3 into 0 plus we got x2 value, how much?
4.
450.
50.
X into 4 into 450. Okay, what about S1? It becomes same, S 0 into 0. What about this S2? Even if it is any value, it becomes 0 into 150 itself. Plus I'm writing 0 into 150. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is 450. Yeah, 450. Right? So now 3 into 0 it becomes 0. 4 into 450, how much?
1800.
1800. So plus 0 into 0, 0 into 0 it becomes 0, plus 0 into 150 it becomes 0. So our answer is, which is 4 into 450, 1800. That's it. Do you have any questions? Please tell me and please ask me. So this is about simplex method.
Sir, in this also we have maximum and minimum problems, sir.
Yeah. So see, simplex method will be done based on maximization. If it is a minimization, so we have a two procedures, which is called two-phase method and big M method. that has to be again converted into maximization, and we'll use artificial variables. A1, artificial variables, right? So artificial variable is a temporary slack variable which will be used for the calculation purpose, and later it will be removed from the simplex table. Okay.
So, but do we have this big M method and two-phase method?
That I need to check. That I need to check. Which is why I asked your faculty name, Venkat Reddy. So I thought he entered, and let me ask him. So let me check your syllabus. So see, if you don't have Subramaniam sir, Venkat Reddy is also there. Okay, fine. I will check with them, and if it is two-phase and big M, again procedure is different. The same type of one, but little bit is different. So we'll eliminate artificial variables, and after that the same procedure itself. But big M, if you have a big M, it is a big ghost. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
If you have any questions, please ask me. So I think we have 2 minutes time to clarify our doubts. Then after that, I will close the session. If you have any questions, please ask.
In the syllabus paper, we only have said that simplex method, sir. There is no information about two-phase or big M method.
Yeah, that I need to check. Let me, because even when I saw this simplex itself, right? So if it is simplex, you are lucky enough.
Okay.
Okay. Clear. Right? So if you have any questions, please ask me. So what is that first step in the simplex method? Express given LPP into
Standard form.
standard form. If it is the given constant is less than equals to make inequality to equality, we are going to be add
Yes. Slack variable.
slack variable. If the given constant is greater than equals to make inequality to equality, we are going to be subtract with
Surplus variable.
surplus variable. If the given constant is equals to, then
Artificial variable.
artificial variable. Okay. So we'll express that given LPP into standard form. Then after that, initial basic feasible solution. Then after that, based on that, then we are going to be make a simplex table. Then once if we make a simplex table, then based on that, we'll get the value Cj minus Zj. If the Cj minus Zj values, if you get all values zeros or negative, then our problem is optimal. Suppose if you did not get, then you need to check that value, which one is the maximum value. That maximum value will become key column or pivot column, right? Then to find out minimum exchange ratio or theta, then we are going to be write xb divided by that key column. Then based on that, we'll find out key row or pivot row, right? The minimum value, minimum positive value will become key row, right? Other than 0 or negative. So even if you get 0, please don't consider that, or negative value, don't consider that. Okay, positive minimum value, so it becomes key row. So where intersecting point key column and key row, it becomes pivot
Element.
Okay, then based on that, we are going to be make a new table again, right? So if it is R1 is your key row, then R1 new you are going to find out. To find out that R1 new equals to R1 volt minus R1 volt divided by
Key
key element. To find out R2 new equals to R1 volt or R2 volt? R2 volt minus key column value of that corresponding row into R1 new. R1 new. Okay, so if you know this to how to write, then it is easy to you to solve the problems. If you understand that logic, then it is easy. Then same procedure. Then again we are going to be find out Zj value. Then we'll find Cj minus Zj value. If we get positive, then again same procedure. So which is why it is called? Which is why it is called?
Iterative method.
Iterative method. So remember this word, because sometimes in the examination they may ask you, right, solve the following problem by using iterative method. Don't get confused, right? Iterative method is also called simplex method. Okay, because we are repeating the same procedure, which is why it is called iterative method. Okay, so
Yes,
till to get Cj minus Zj negative or zero values. If you get any one positive, then again same procedure to get Cj minus Zj value negative or zero. So then once if you get Cj minus Zj negative or zero, then we may say about that it's a optimal solution. Then we'll substitute those values in the objective function. Then we'll conclude.
Yes, sir.
This is about simplex method. Okay, so afternoon 2 to 3 we'll meet BRM class today. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good day.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, after the session which I'm going to send you one more problem. Please practice that problem. Okay, not the same problem. If you want to practice same problem to understand the method, practice the same problem till to get the procedure, then go ahead with the one more problem which I'm going to send to you through WhatsApp. Okay, so I was recorded this particular session. Okay, so I did not get any glitches of network side, so you are lucky enough. So I will send a recorded version to you. Okay, once
Okay.
I download, after downloading this one. Okay, so often we'll meet in the BRM class 2 to 3.
Okay, sir.
Fine.